I'd forgotten what one I'd written down. It was this one. Your Bibblesy. Can you eat a cannibal? And this is a tin of cannibals soup with Hannibal Lecter on it and a weird looking heart thing. I am gonna hopefully drink some tea without spilling it. I know that because there's been no, what's the word I'm looking for? Where you do it over and over again. Consistency. There's been no consistency with the live videos, so there's been no traction. So this is probably, hopefully, the start of the weekly readings. And I'm going to do the first one. Or should I have a sip of tea first? Because I am thirsty. No, it's very hot. You know what, actually it's not too bad. Just put it on the floor. Can you eat a cannibal? Can you eat a cannibal? Well, you can, but is it okay? Can you beat up a bully and then bully them thereafter every day? Can you dance upon the grave of one who danced on them before? Can you eat from the plate of those who left others eat from off the floor? Can you justify stomping on someone else's foot because they stood on your toe? I guess I think the answer is a yes, and is a no. Hi Vish. I will read it again because that was only the first reading. It's hope you're having a good night. Hi Charlie. Glad to see you could join. I look rough, I know, and I decided to go for the green lights because I'm feeling like that green witch. So I decided, and it's Halloweeny, nearly, isn't it? It's always Halloween for me, anyway. I'm gonna have another couple of sips of my tea, and then I'll read. Hi Jen. I'm gonna have a couple more sips of my tea out of my pumpkin, and then I'll read. Actually, I'll show you which one I'm reading. Hi G. I'm reading this one, which it'll be back to front to everyone. Sorry, I was blocking my mouth. But this is Can You Eat a Cannibal? It was one of the more viewed, and I think it even got a couple of likes, this one. And I drew a little picture, and that is a Hannibal Lecter on a tin of cannibal's soup and a little love heart and stuff. So yeah, I'll have some more Uniboob tea out of my pumpkin, and I'll read it again. Thank you, Vish. So This is, can you eat a cannibal? Can you eat a cannibal? I mean, you can, but is it okay? Can you beat up a bully and then bully them thereafter every day? Can you dance upon the grave of those who danced on them before? Can you eat from off the plate of those who left others eat off the floor? Can you justify stomping on someone else's foot because they stood on your toe? I guess I think the answer is a yes, and is as is a no. And I suppose that poem is just my questioning of morals and what's right and what's wrong and what's grey and what's black and what's white. And I mean, I've been asked, would I eat a human? And my answer is always the same. If it was a necessity and it was pre-discussed and thank you everyone. Yeah, no, if it was a pre-discussed notion, say there was a plane wreck, but I also have a way that you could see, this is how my brain works. If you had a plane crash and two of you were injured and you was just so lucky that you's, like, one of you's injured a leg and one of you's injured the arm, you could, like, you know, eat the injured ones of each other's things, and you could, like, jerky it and you could survive off of each other's limbs. I should stop talking about that. But no, so I suppose that's where the poem came from, because I was thinking about actual cannibalism and, like, in what situations is it actually classed as okay to eat another human, and I suppose one of them is survival. But then you've got, like, the fact that if you eat if you eat human flesh, you get a brain disease, apparently. But I don't know if that's true. It sounds like it could be. I don't know. Yeah, so it's like about iffy territory when it comes to right or wrong. And I guess retribution and things like that. Is that right? I don't know. I hope everyone is having a good present moment, whatever present moment we are in. I know a couple of you are over in the States, and I know Vish, I think you're still, well, I know you're still in the UK, so I won't dox you. That would be silly. And I'm just here in the ether. It's where I live, perpetually confused with my pumpkin full of uniboob tea, talking shit awkwardly on the internet. Thank you all for what's the word? I said it to Charlie earlier. Humouring me. Thank you all for humouring me. I've been quite tired. The job that I do is quite physically taxing. I cook, but it's on, like, a big scale, and it's just all go from about 7:45 in the morning, but it's only till 2 in the afternoon. But because it's, like, all go, it's quite tiring, and you have to get up quite early, and really not that much of like, I'm not great always at getting up in the morning. Well, I am. I can get up. I just am tired. I need like, I wish I could sleep for 12 hours, but I can't even sleep for 12 hours when I'm off. I will wake up at 6 a.m. Even without an alarm. Sometimes I can go back to sleep, and then the rest of the time it's just like, why? Just get up. Also, I've made some cookie dough, and I feel like 9:10 is a perfect time to wouldn't it be lovely, Vish, sleeping for 12 hours? Like when you're a kid, you're like, no, I don't want to go to bed. No, this is the worst place in the world. And I know that everybody says it and it's a cliche, but when you get older, you're like, I wanna go to bed. And like a high thread count on some Egyptian cotton sheets, preferably crisp and white, with a big fluffy goose feather hotel quality quilt and some puffed up cushions. Yeah, that sounds like fuck, 5 hours. Yeah, no, I've managed to get my routine to the point where I'm getting like hopefully 7.5 to 8 hours sleep, because I need it to function. I have important paperwork that I have to fill out and stuff, and it needs to be right. So I need to concentrate. Otherwise, I could go to jail. So it's just one of those things. I mean, only if somebody were to be sick, but God, like, not, well, whoever forbid, whatever forbid, the ether forbid, nobody gets sick. But yeah, so over here in the ether, I cook en masse. Don't go to jail. I don't want to go to jail, although, like, that's a guaranteed 12 hours, Vish. Or maybe 8. Is it 8? Oh, I don't know. And then you've got like, bad is subjective, Vish. Not everyone in jail is bad, and not everybody on the outside is good. You shouldn't judge people just because of where they are. You don't quite know how they got there, and I know quite a lot of people who are classed as criminals who are genuinely lovely people. So it's alright. Everybody thinks certain ways because that's how you're meant to think. Generally, you're not supposed to actively seek out. Well, I don't generally actively seek out. I just don't tend to shoo people away. But yeah, it's not. I guess it's not a usual stance to think on. I'm a should be for bad people. Yes, it should be reform. It should be reform over confinement, education, psychological support, and like changing the way and the reasons why we send people to jail. Would help with overcrowding and issues and reoffending. And you only have to look at places, I think it's Norway, where they have a jail system where it's the person's choice. So like they go into solitary, like a solitary confinement, but it's like a comfortable solitary confinement where they're in the cell like they would be normally, like 23 hours a day or whatever it is, and then they get a time to go out and walk around and they get the meals, and that's like their choice to stay there until they're ready to be rehabilitated. Then they go into the gen pop part of the jail where they go and learn a trade, or they become reintegrated, so they can become reintegrated into society. Because the problem is you can't take somebody who is in that cycle and just put them in jail where you're not giving them anything apart from shelter, really, and a chance to make connections and a chance to get more trauma and have more of the cycle, and then releasing them back out and expecting them not to come back. Like, it's just very silly. But it's probably all money orientated. Although I've known prison wardens and stuff who are again genuinely good people. It's not just, it's like there's grey areas and everything. hence the poem. Yeah, no, it really does. Like, it seems on the outside from what I saw, I think it was a documentary that I saw about it. I don't know, I've seen a good few documentaries about jails and stuff. I don't know, I just find it quite interesting, ethically, the way that we treat bad people. It's just very strange, considering the people who we actually have making these laws and being in charge of everything. It's, again, I've lost. Is it ironic? Is that ironic? The bad people are putting not bad people in jail. Is that irony? I get confused sometimes. But yeah, it's all a big game of fucking chess. But yeah, I should probably oh no, I've got a little bit more time to ramble on if you're up for it. If anybody else has got anything that they want to add, I'll talk about anything generally. Like, I have no filters. If you put something in the comments, I'll give you my unfiltered opinion on it. So that's a fun thing to play, isn't it? Is that a little bit of a roulette? Fish, you're welcome to put in as well. Like, it's always nice to have someone to chat to while I'm sat in the ether. It's cold out here, you know. I like this setup, and it's really simple as well. No pressure, bitch. Well, it's nice. It's nice to have a little bit of random. I'm in and out. Oh, that's all right. Gee, no worries. Everyone's a slave to the wages, isn't it? Like, we can't live without it, unfortunately. Well, we can, just not the way that society is set up right now. We can't. But I do recommend drinking tea, not without caffeine as often as you can. Caffeine being genuinely a poison, but I'm addicted to it too, so it's okay. I'm not judging. I'm just stating a fact. I learned a lot of things. Thanks, Vish. It's just as simple as you can see Halo Light. But it's just a nice. I think it's a nice, easy way to show that I do care about the presentation of the videos. I just don't have necessarily the time to pre-record, edit, colour grade, do makeup, write scripts. I literally am trying to fit this round life, and I know that everybody does that, but my particular brand of life is quite busy. I'm trying to fit whatever this is. I'm just trying to find the balance where it feels right and it doesn't feel overwhelming, and I don't feel beholden, because I don't want to lose the love. I've been writing poetry forever. Well, not forever, I haven't been alive forever, but I've been writing poetry since I found out what poetry was, I was hyperlexic. I am from an edits take a long time, yeah. No, well, when I've got that, if I was to become in a position where this sort of, where editing videos would pay for the things that I need, then I could put in the time, but until then I have to fit it in with what I'm doing. And I have lost my train of thought. What was I saying? We might not catch that one again. Was I talking about? I don't know. Cups of tea, drinking tea. Drink tea. It's good for you, just not with too much caffeine. Because I think that was a completely different train. Oh, the joys of ADHD. Well, no, that's it. I do. That's it. I'm doing this. I've been writing poetry since, thanks fish, since I was able to write, and I was hyperlexic from an early age, but with dyslexic tendencies in writing, and like processing difficulties and stuff. But remember, I was undiagnosed ADHD until I was 24. So all the stuff that went along with that, with the different, like, I'd excel in certain places and not excel in others, gifted in some places, not gifted in others. But I always showed an affinity for reading and words and a love of books for a long time because of my neurology. Books were my only friends for a while, and they were escapism, and they were a way of feeling like I belonged to something when I didn't feel like I belonged to anything at the time, because I didn't understand who I was and what I was as a person. But now I do, and labels can sometimes be nothing but like a burden on your shoulders. And I believe different neurology, different, what's the word I'm looking for, neurodiversities. I don't think it's very new. I just think the acceptance of neurodiverse people in society has become more of a thing, and people are being made more aware of what neurodiversity really is, over just locking us up. And I mean, a lot of neurodiverse people do still utilize those kinds of treatments and do still require inpatient care. It would just be nice if, and I mean, I know that there is a lot of great inpatient care as well. There's just also a lot of not great inpatient care, and it would just be nice if the balance was to be a bit better, and the in community care was a bit better. I think that would be how you could start to get around the issues that we still have with that kind of thing. But that isn't something that you can really, like, you can't, you have to delve really, really deep into that kind of stuff. You can't just fix that with a quick, it would take a village. Anyway, I've probably wasted enough of everybody's time, and thank you very much for coming and listening to Can You Eat a Cannibal and me witter on about utter bollocks for 24 minutes. I thank you all. I am really thankful for you being here, and I hope you have a really good evening. Night night.